What are the financial traps that people are falling into today? Stay with me. Subscriptions. So we all have them. We often sign up for them, but subscriptions are rarely used beyond the first time and they are forgotten about. However, your credit card that is billed monthly doesn't forget about the subscription. And sometimes people can end up with subscriptions lasting years for an item that they only lightly used or have only used once and never used again. Now, some advice on how to deal with this: at least twice a year, and I usually select 3-day weekends or the week between Christmas and New Year's, to select some time to go over my credit card statement to look for these monthly reoccurring charges, to investigate them, and to eliminate the monthly subscriptions I do not use. I always find at least one, sometimes more than one, subscription that I never use or use very lightly that can go. And when you find that, you can just cancel it off your credit card. Also, another piece of advice is to be very careful what you sign up for. I think we start a lot of subscriptions with the best of intentions, only to realize that we're not using it, or we're using it very lightly, or what we're paying isn't worth the money. So be very cautious in what you sign up for at different points during the year. Some subscriptions are really hard to cancel, and they deliberately make it difficult to cancel so that you'll give up on it and just keep the subscription billing to your credit card. So check out those subscriptions twice a year. Set aside an hour or so to research exactly what you are paying. Cancel subscriptions that are not worth the money, and be very careful what you sign up for. Next is buy now, pay later. So this is a term that didn't even really exist 6 years ago. There used to be things like layaway, and there were payday loans and things like that. But buy now, pay later is a whole other category of debt lending. It's debt lending for small purchases. You can buy fast food on buy now, pay later. You can buy groceries on buy now, pay later. Or you can buy clothing, concert tickets, and other items that are discretionary on buy now, pay later. The problem with it is the pay later part of it. You can end up racking up a lot of debt that has monthly payments at a pretty decent interest rate that needs to be paid back. And since there are several buy now, pay later companies, some people have accounts across 3 or more companies, which makes it even harder to keep track of what you have spent, what you are spending, and the monthly payments on all of these different accounts. You really shouldn't be putting fast food on buy now, pay later. You should not be buying groceries on buy now, pay later. Though I understand that some people are just in circumstances and need whatever they need to get them through the day, but it's not really a sustainable, good model for most people, and it's very easy to end up in significant amount of debt due to buy now, pay later systems. So if you can't afford it now, then you shouldn't buy it now. And this goes for credit card debt as well. If you can't pay it off by the end of the month, you should not be putting it on the credit card, or you should be looking for some other alternative way to be able to buy what you need. But buy now, pay later, in my opinion, no one should have a buy now, pay later account. They're even worse than credit cards. It's just a terrible concept. So be careful of buy now, pay later. This is a huge one, the I will start later syndrome. The biggest asset you have when you are in your 20s and even into your early 30s is youth. The window of opportunity closes so quickly, and suddenly you're in your late 30s or early 40s, and you just don't have the same amount of time to create wealth that you did when you were in your 20s. I encounter a lot of young people who have the I will start tomorrow attitude, and we always work through that to see if they can start today. The most important step, the hardest step, is often the first step. And setting up that automatic disbursement, setting up that automatic paycheck withdrawal to a savings account or to investment account is often the biggest and hardest step, but it's often the most impactful step. And I've seen people taking this step to change the trajectory of their financial lives many decades later, when they have more resources than if they just didn't invest or start investing when they are young. If you have the attitude, or if you ever say the line, I will start later, hunker down, take 15 minutes and do something that can start you on the path today. Opening a brokerage account, opening an IRA or a Roth IRA, setting up a contributions to your 401k, setting up a savings account. It's so quick, it's so easy now with the online and the internet that you can do it over your lunch break. There really is no excuse for saying you will start later. Change that with I will start now. So one thing that has been big on social media is soft life and lifestyle. And it's a very interesting concept. Like every now and again in social media and on the internet, these very vague concepts come out and they become the topic of discussion or the topic of the day. And everyone does videos on it and everyone puts their own interpretation and spin on it. And soft life is one of those concepts that just came out of the ether more than a year ago that's been making its rounds on social media. But some people have really bought into this concept of soft life in a very negative way. Basically, they're interpreting soft life as they don't have to work for anything. They can buy whatever they want. Some people think somebody else is going to pay for it. They're not going to exert themselves in any way to get what they want to get. And I have seen this be very detrimental to a lot of people's lives, especially it ties into buy now, pay later, or it ties into credit card debt. People chasing soft life that isn't realistic given their age, income, risk tolerance, and goals. Basically, they're living like they're wealthy long before they are actually ever wealthy. And what they don't realize is that trying to put on this facade, trying to put out this lifestyle, really is stopping them from meeting any or all their financial goals because all of their finances are going towards maintaining a soft life now. Now, I certainly respect work-life balance. I certainly respect taking care of yourself and physical, mental, and emotional health. But there are limitations to what you can do if you're just starting out in your 20s and your 30s. And a lot of soft life content is focused around the material. Living in a beautiful apartment, driving a beautiful car, wearing beautiful clothes, massages, hair, lashes, nails, travel, luxurious vacations, staying in nice places. It's all tied into the material world versus things that are less tangible and not necessarily material, like mental and spiritual health, having good relationships with people. And the reason that's so is because you can't really monetize that very effectively. So be very careful of messages about soft life. It's often a consumer trap that ends up pulling people into debt in their 20s and 30s. And the concept really doesn't mean anything. It's sufficiently vague that you can put your own spin on it. And a lot of the spin that's been put on the soft life era is very materialistic. Finally, this one is very important and I see it quite frequently. People who are missing basic money skills. We all develop money skills and attitudes towards money growing up, and oftentimes it's from the environment we grew up in and from our parents and our family. And our families often did the best they could to teach us about money, but there's a lot of adults out in the world who are missing basic money skills. Maybe they didn't encounter it when they were younger. Maybe their family didn't talk about money. Maybe there are other things going on there. But there are some people who are skipping and missing basic money skills. And today, in this day and age, there almost isn't an excuse for missing out on basic money skills. And I say that because there's a lot of information on basic money skills on social media that wasn't present 20 or 30 years ago. If you were born 20 or 30 years ago, you just had to be born into the right family with the right attitude to pick up good money skills. But now you can go on YouTube, you can go on social media, and you can probably search good money skills and get some information on basic money skills that can help you reach the next level. Now, getting information on social media at age 24 is a lot different than being brought up in an environment where you witness good money skills, but it's never too late to learn. And I've seen adults pick up skills, and I've seen adults over time rewrite a lot of the bad programming they had growing up about money. So there you have it from a financial advisor. 5 things that keep people broke. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and if you found this information useful, please share and subscribe.